Each of the Earth's landforms was and is being formed by something called either a constructive or destructive process. Each of these processes is unique in how they change the land that they come in contact with. Some of the landforms are built up or created by these processes, and some are destroyed by them. There are many cities, not only in America, but around the world, that are located on what is called a fault line. Fault lines are where two plates, which make up the Earth's crust, rub together and cause the Earth to shake. These earthquakes are very destructive and can cause a lot of damage. One of the biggest disasters in American history was Hurricane Katrina. This was the hurricane that hit the Gulf Coast in 2005. Many of the safety measures that especially New Orleans took to prevent damage from hurricanes like this failed. Tornadoes can also be very destructive wind forces. They sweep through most of the American Midwest with animal-like ferocity, leaving homes and towns damaged and destroyed. One of the simplest and most often occurring ways of destruction is weathering or erosion. Weathering is any type of weather that causes a landform to change, such as rain, wind, or lightning. There are many different types of erosion, including water and wind erosion. Water erosion can be rivers, oceans, rain, or any other way water can wash over rocks and landforms and change the way they look. With all these destructive processes, there are many which create new landforms. The barrier islands off the coast of Georgia are an example of these types of processes. Something called deposition is where a bunch of rivers come together and deposit the minerals and soil they have picked up along their paths. These large deposits of sediments can over time create such landforms as the barrier islands of Georgia, as well as other types of landforms. This is Hawaii. Hawaii is made up of a chain of volcanoes. Volcanoes sprouted up from the bottom of the ocean and eventually became tall enough to pop up from under the water. The islands are now big enough and have enough land for people to live on them. Many of the volcanoes that make up the islands of Hawaii are still active even today, which means they can erupt at any time. These eruptions can also be very harmful to people who live near them. Scientists every day are coming up with new ways to prevent the destruction of landforms and people's homes and property. Shelters built underground are used to hide from events such as tornadoes and hurricanes. Buildings along fault lines are being built with new technologies that allow them to withstand earthquakes and very high winds.